Now, if this team continues to be led by their defense, that truly is one of the toughest in the nation. They are nationally rated in the top 3 in defensive efficiency. But to cut down the nets in March, they must get better offensively. The Pioneers from Wayland Baptist are 10-7 overall, 10-3 in conference play, currently on a 2-game losing streak. This team has one thing above them that nobody else wants to talk about. We'll talk about it. This is the team when Langston came into the season ranked number 1 overall, was the first one to snatch the joy right out of the Langston Lions' heart.
Yes, they did.
Right down there in Plainview, Texas. Expect them to still think that they have the number tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's been a lot of basketball that's been played since then, but nonetheless, Wayland Baptist still packs a punch. They're averaging about 86.3 points per game, shooting about 48.3% from the floor, 35 or 36% from deep, 70% from the free throw line. This is a team that is capable of playing with anybody. In the losing streak, what's been going down, injuries have come up. Also, what's been issues for them overall has just been some simple issues of not playing great basketball coming from the break. So you got to look at them saying, hey, this is our get back. This is when we show everybody that we still have fight and still want to make a run in the conference. Gary, can you tell us what the conference is looking like when you look at the conference standings and the men's standings right now?
Yeah, well, right now, again, as you said before at the beginning, Langston is sitting on top of the conference with an overall record of 13-2, 87% winning percentage. But then right after them is Nelson at 12-5. Wayland Baptist is at 10-7. But let me say this. While Langston does have a nice lead, or a decent lead in the SAC, they can't let up. They got to continue to play. And the toughest challenge that Langston is facing right now is how can they go through the grind, the grinding part of their conference play while still trying to manage personnel and injuries. And how did that happen? Well, it was simple. I had a sit down today with Coach Wright, and we talked a little bit. They've got a couple of blessings in that Cameron Bryce, he actually, set out the first semester. He's now eligible to play. He's a 6'5", 6'6" shooting guard, transferred in from Talladega, and now he's back on the floor and he's eligible to play. And then also, too, transfer Tony Hunter from Tulane is actually on the roster now, eligible to play, and so he's going to be making his debut tonight. Now, they got to balance that against Igor Efe, the big man, the 7-footer. He's sitting out tonight with an ankle. So that means that other players are going to have to step in. Players like McCoy, players like Darius Hughes is going to have to come in, and they're going to have to help Smith down in the low point. And then also, too, you're going to have players like Epps, who are normally your 3-guard type players because they are longer and taller, because this is a very big Langston University men's basketball team. Those threes are going to be asked to shift down into that small forward position and really try to help out in the low post against Wayland Baptist tonight.
The other challenge for Langston is going to be about continuity. Whenever you bring new bodies in, everybody's role starts to shift a little bit. So you're right to talk about the grinding days of conference, because this Langston team feels like they left something in Kansas last year. Well, to go get it, they got to get through these months. So the injury bugs, where am I getting my minutes? Where's my continuity coming in? All that comes into play. And for Chris Wright, he likes that because that's going to cause more guys to want to play and play at a higher rate. So expect Langston to expose their depth tonight and try to get these new pieces, these new shiny toys that they got coming out of the second semester to be effective on the team. As far as Wayland Baptist is concerned, they're looking to solidify themselves in the race. They have dropped 2 straight. They want to end the losing streak now and turn it around and make a run. They just want to hang tight. You don't want to continue to drift down, because the more you drift down, and depending on how the conference raters continue to look at the Sooner Athletic Conference men's team overall, Gary, that can affect on whether you can get to the big dance or not. And so you want to be in the top 2. The top 2 have the best chance, not only in terms of seeding in the in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament at the end of the season, but secondly, getting one of those hard-to-get spots in the NAIA National Tournament.
And home court playoff berth, right? I mean, and that's going to help you. And then when you got to go to Kansas City, then it's neutral site, anybody's game, got to come to play. You lose, you go home.
Now, for Langston's perspective, they've been averaging 70 points per game, shooting about 45% from the floor, 34% from three. There are two things that still trouble this team, and that's something that the new injection of new players are trying to address. What that's going to also help them with is getting that points per game total going up. It really needs to be sitting around 85 to 90, somewhere in that range. The reason why you want to do that is because it makes the other team have to play you different.
Yeah.
The other thing is very, very small, but it's most important. It's my favorite T-shirt. Free throws are only free if you make them. If not, they
cost you.
They cost you. So with that being said, Langston shooting 66.3% means in close games, you don't want to be that team.
No, you want to be 70-plus.
So, and Langston's getting to the free throw line almost 15 times a game. So that means you're missing, you're barely making 9, 10 of those. And so on those games, since you're scoring 70 points, it gets ugly down the stretch of games. And Langston has to execute every time to get there. Well, that's okay in the regular season.
Right.
That might be okay even getting away with it in the conference tournament, but you will not get away with it in the NAIA National Tournament.
You are definitely right, because in the NAIA National Tournament, the level of play and the level of coaching and the near misses, they really, really are magnified when these teams go against each other. And then, of course, when the officials start calling it tight, then it becomes really stressful.
Right. So that's one of the things that you have to look at. So that's what Chris Wright is hoping to do. The Lions are looking to extend their 8-game winning streak to 9 tonight, while the Wayland Baptist Pioneers are looking to end another streak and start a new one. Let's now turn it over to public address announcer Gerald Busby for the announcement of the starting lineups.
Starting lineup for the visiting Pioneers from Wayland Baptist University. 6'8" forward, number 0, Dwayne Kahn. 6'3" guard, number 1, James Lee. 6'4" guard, number 3, Dylan McDougal. 5'10" guard, number 11, Quentin Coleman. And 6'4" guard, number 12, Brent Beach. Head coach of the Pioneers is Clint Galen. Assistant coach Addison Herbert, Doug Galen, and Lane Shin. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your nationally 8th-ranked Langston University Lions. A 6'1" guard from St. Louis, Missouri, number 0, Mario McKinney. 5'10" guard from San Francisco, California, number 1, Bryce Monroe. 6'7" forward from Lebanon, Kentucky, number 2, Jamison Hicks. A 6'3" guard from Cairo, Egypt, number 3, Amaro Lotto. The 6'9" forward from Dallas, Texas, number 11, Joshua Smith. Head coach of the Langston University Lions, Chris Wright, associate head coach.
All right, let's go ahead and confirm the starting lineups for you tonight for the Wayland Baptist Pioneer. Is Cabin Kaba, number 0, the junior. Then a senior, James Lee, number 1. Then number 3, a senior, Dylan Dougal. Number 11, Quentin Coleman, a senior. And junior, number 12, Brett Leach. Who are the starters for the Lions? Oh, I'm sorry. And head coach is Clint Galen. Who is the starters for the Langston Lions tonight?
Starting lineup for the Langston Lions men's basketball team, number 0, Mr. Mario McKinney, Rio. Number 1, the point guard, Bryce Monroe. Number 2, small forward, Jamison Epps. Number 3, off guard, Mario Lotto. And then last but not least, the big man himself, Joshua Smith. Head coach, Chris Wright.
Chris Wright. So here we go. It's time for this game to get started, and Langston will remember this game. Langston found themselves down 3 points at the end of the first half in their first meeting way back on November 14th, and then finding themselves being outscored by 5 in the second half of that game, and Wayland Baptist won by 8, 71-63. Nonetheless, it's a new game, new night, 2025. That game was last year. So
Yes,
now let's get
was.
ready to go. So jumping up in center court is Joshua Smith, and of course, looks like number 11 up there, that was Quentin Coleman jumping it up. I'm sorry, number 0, that was Kevin Kaba. Now back to work. Ball in the box now, turning and fire on the inside. Nice shot there, knocked down there by Dylan McDougal.
Well executed possession. Back screen was highly effective. Coach Wright doesn't like that. Got to keep your head on the swivel. Don't fall asleep defensively.
All right, Amaro Lato hands the ball off. Rio now has it. Now back to Bryce Monroe. Back in the hands of Jamison Epps. Back in the hands now of Lato. Lions are trying to get their offensive efficiency up, and tonight's the night. Right now, Wayland Baptist is still rotating nicely. It looks like in a matchup zone. And then finally, with deflected seconds on the clock, few seconds on the shot clock, fires up a shot, no good. Rebound, Wayland Baptist now going to work now. Quentin Coleman now has it. Coleman, we get it to the corner, and it looks like the whistle is going to be blown, and traveling is going to be the call. So right now, the Lions find themselves down 2-0, 19:04 to go. And it looks like we have an early substitution in the game.
Yeah.
Right away, Cameron McCoy is getting in the game, and that goes back to what you
Bryce
just said about someone not having their head on a swivel.
Right. You got to keep your head on the swivel. It's physical out there. This is the big boys game. They don't call, that physical play away from the ball.
So the officials are addressing some moisture on the court as well as a substitution into the game. So also Cameron Bryce also is in the game, it looks like, for the Lions. So we're talking about maybe a minute worth of action, and Chris Wright is already bringing in 2 fresh bodies, basically on communication and doing the things. Chris Wright, the last time we called a game was the Court of Dreams game, Gary. Seems like so long ago, back there at the Paycom Center against Oklahoma Wesleyan. And in that game, one thing I do remember in the interview at the end of the contest with Swick, Chris Wright said, "I'll take the win, but I don't like the game."
Right. Oh, Chris Bobby Knight Wright.
And so he did not like that aspect of it, and he said that there's going to have to be some changes to get this team where it needs to be.
Yep. No. And this is a game that he wants badly.
So going to work now. Ball in the hands of Lato. Now back in the hands of Bryce. Monroe still holding onto the ball. Back in the hands now of Lato. Lato trying to get around the screen and contact up high. So we have our first foul of the afternoon or evening being called against Quentin Coleman. Team foul number 2. Or team foul number 1, excuse me. So off to the races we go. Bryce Monroe has it. Smith sets a screen, kicking it to the corner, up fake. Back in the hands of Lato. Lato drives. 9 seconds on the clock.
Short.
Fadeaway shot. Difficult shot. Contested shot. Shot no good. Wayland Baptist starts the offense. James Lee now has it. Lee drives to the court. Drives to the rim, and the shot's going to be turned away by Joshua Smith.
Yeah, good defense. Good help defense by Smith.
So going to work now. Monroe. Cameron Bryce and McCoy all standing above the circle. Smith asking for it on the box. Smith has it. Being pushed out well now by Kaba. Smith to the basket. Nice. Getting some space and kissing it off the glass. And the game is all tied up at 2.
Perfect example of triangle offense to the strong side there. Nice 3-man game.
All right, going to work now. James Lee. Going to kick the ball over to McDougal. McDougal, who has the only points for Wayland Baptist right now. Inside, shot, kissing it off the glass. Shot is no good. And
rebound mishandled by Cameron Bryce.
Cameron Bryce could not control it there.
Native from Tulsa, transferred to Langston from Talladega. He actually played for Coach Wright when Coach Wright was the head coach there. On the national championship runner-up team there in Talladega 3 years ago.
So hard coaching by Chris Wright. Cameron Bryce checks out of the game, and so into the game now. So you got McCoy, Smith, Bryce Monroe, and shot being fired up, and that shot goes out of bounds, and it will be Langston Lion ball.
Nice on-ball defense by Mario McKinney.
So that was quite a display we saw from Mario McKinney at the Paycom Center.
Oh, yeah.
He took advantage of his opportunity to play where SGA lives and had a great time and a lot of fun.
Yeah, he definitely had his moment. He's actually been playing well. I talked to Coach Wright about him. And he right now.
Smith can't finish at the lane in the rim. Scramble
Loose
for the
ball.
loose ball. Everybody's trying to get their hands on it. And
turnover.
unfortunately, you are laying on the end line, trying to throw it back in. So turnover, it will be Wayland Baptist ball. But continue your point.
Yeah, so right now, with the injuries that Bryce Monroe, the point guard, has been suffering, it's affected his play. And so, Rio McKinney, he's actually done a really good job of stepping up and being that 1-2 combo guard, giving the Lions exactly what they need.
And good job as Mario McKinney on cue turns around and tries to get to the rim and draws contact on the box. It'll be foul number 2 against Quentin Coleman. And Coleman's going to have to check out early in this game. 2 fouls, 2 points. And so a discussion being done here by Clint Galen to the officials here, right there at the scorer's table. You can see that at the bottom of the screen there. Now going to work McKinney. Getting a free throw, knocks that one down. So coming in for Coleman. So Jordan Flores comes in. So ball in the hands now. Trying to get some space to get around. Ball in the hands now of James Lee. Lee tries to get the ball to the corner, driving inside, and a nice trying to get the ball right inside. And, they got it in the circle and everything. Kevin Kaba trying to get a basket. He's fouled.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Mario McKinney.
So first foul is against Mario McKinney, and now going to the free throw line is Kevin Kaba. Kaba's first shot is no good. Lions lead by 2, 4-2. 16:45 to go. Maurice Prince and Gary Woods on the call this evening. Glad that you're joining us live on PPBC TV.
Makes the second shot.
And he makes the second shot. 1 of 2, 4-3 is the score. Substitutions coming in here for Wayland Baptist. Wayland Baptist does have size in their 3 through 5. You just got to see how they want to match up and play. Going to swing it to the corner to McCoy. McCoy tries to drive. Double team. They swung it out. It's going to be stolen. Nice job there by James Lee. James Lee tries to finish.
Nice shot altered by Mario McKinney. My goodness.
Forcing him to get creative with that shot there. But nonetheless, it will be Wayland Baptist ball. So substitutions. Jamison Epps returns to the game. Along with Darius Hughes in the game for the first time tonight. And it looks like a foul's going to be called there by Bryce Monroe.
Yeah, they're going to call him for a hand check.
So Monroe comes out of the game, and now Cameron Bryce returns.
Golly, a lot of substitution for a game that scores 4-3. Langston leads by 1.
You need a program.
Man.
You might need a program. So going to work now. Man-to-man defense, strong man-to-man defense being played. Langston providing no airspace for the Pioneers. Into the lane, trying to turn and fire. Kissing a shot off the glass is no good there by Nico Numeros.
Yeah. Right away it looks like, Wayland Baptist is prepared to do the ground and pound, right? They're going to try to get that ball in the paint. They're going to try to take it right into Langston's chest, and they're going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to start grinding this game out right now. We're going to see if we can't get you into foul trouble early. We know that you have a tremendous amount of depth, But we would rather play against your twos than to play against your ones.
And Wayland Baptist wants to take advantage of it and get to the free throw line.
Yes.
Numeros misses the first one, drops the second one in, 1 of 2. We're all tied up at 4. And it just seems like it's been a long time since the Lions have put points on the board. See if they can get it on this possession here. Going to swing it over. Epps now has it. Epps passes over to Lotto. Lotto in the corner. Turns and fires a difficult shot.
Hughes
gets the rebound. Battles inside. He can't get it to fall. Lotto going inside, mixing it up. And Lotto is fouled. But nice job mixing it up against 3 or 4 Pioneers that were underneath the goal. Nice job by the Lions.
Yeah, nice job. But also, too, nice job by Wayland. They're making this game ugly early. I mean, they're making it an ugly game right now. And so, again, both teams are coming in with defensive emphasis, right?
Lotto knocks down free throw number 1. Keep going.
And that's why it's so low scoring.
Right. I mean, so Lotto gets on the score sheet now from the free throw line. See if he can get one more down. All teams both have 3 fouls apiece early in this.
Yeah. They almost have as many teams fouls as they do points.
So Lotto knocks down the free throw, and it gives the Lions a lead by 2. 15:39 to go. Here comes James Lee leading the Pioneer offense. Lee across the timeline. Being picked up by Tony Hunter, who's making his Langston Lion debut. Shot from the corner. No one blocks out. That time, Numeros, who ties the game up at 6. That big frame, you got to put a body on him.
Yeah.
So now going to work. Hughes gets it in the hands. Back in the hands now of Hunter. Over to Bryce Monroe. Bryce Monroe drives inside, pulls up from the elbow. Elbow jump shot is nice by Monroe. 8-6.
You know me, Mo. I love seeing that, right? Mid-range.
Screen play.
Loose
they're going to call
foul.
an offensive foul there against Alex Rojas.
Yeah, he was moving screen, ran right over Bryce Monroe.
Team foul number 4. And now the Lions have a chance to build on the lead on this next possession. Also in the game, number 14, Joshua Tucker, is in the game now for the Pioneers as well. Monroe setting up the offense over to Epps. Now back in the hands now of Tony Hunter. Monroe has it. To Bryce, back to Monroe. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gets a screen up high by Hughes. Bryce pulls up again. And another elbow jump shot. Looking like Chris Paul with that shot. Chris Paul loves that elbow jump shot. Bryce Monroe 2 for 2, 10 of 6. You had made comments that Bryce Monroe has had some difficulties. He's off to a good start here tonight.
Switch has happened. There's a mismatch in the low post now. Tony Hunter is up against the big man.
And Numeros.
Help defense by Jamison Epps.
So Epps gets the steal here, gives the ball back in the hands of Hunter. Hunter looks at the 3, thinking about it. Gets it over to Monroe. Monroe drives baseline to the hoop. Gets it inside. A nice bounce pass inside to Darius Hughes, who's fouled but could not score.
Good play, though. The extra pass was definitely there.
So Alex Rojas called for the foul. So now to the free throw line goes Darius Hughes. 10-6. 14 minutes to go. Tonight's game being presented by LU Athletics, the Black Chronicle newspaper, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma. Hughes misses the free throw, along with OERB and Tinker Federal Credit Union. Substitutions in the game for the Pioneers, Andola Soon. Also, Dylan McDougal returns, along with Brett Leach. Hughes misses both on the free throw line attempt right now, and that's something that the Lions want to continue to work on to improve. Coming across the timeline now goes Flores, who's also in the game, number 20. Flores into the lane, throws it up, and soon misses, gets his own rebound, and then is fouled and will go to the free throw line shooting 2. Ndola Soon just checked in and used those long arms on that 6'10 frame of his.
Yeah.
This is one of those nights when you're saying, Iguefe, where you at?
I know, right? I mean, that's a matchup that you always like to see, especially at this level. You know, if you got a 7-footer, 6'10", 6'11 guy, you want to see that battle down on the low post between the big men. And, of course, I always have to ask, Wayland Baptist, where are you getting these guys? Where is he from? Lagos, Nigeria.
All right. So Soon gets his first free throw to knock down. It's 10-7 right now. Going to the free throw line again, we have substitutions as Joshua Smith returns to live action, along with Amaro Lotto. And soon, he'll be getting more minutes. 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 10-8, 13:32 to go. Across the free throw line goes Monroe to Epps. Cameron Bryce was denied the ability to catch the ball. And now 14 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Bryce Monroe is bumped.
He's blocked.
Contact. Joshua Smith ends up with it on the scramble. Jamison Epps tries to get it. Epps misses the shot. Joshua Smith can't track down the rebound. It is officially Pioneer ball. So 13:08. Flores bring it up. Across the timeline now. Soon at just above the elbow at the top of the key now, hands back off to Flores. Flores is looking for him, but nice job by Smith to keep his hands engaged, keep him from creating a passing lane. But doesn't matter as McDougal drops a biscuit in the basket, and it's all tied up at 10.
Yeah, nice play there. Good patience executed by Wayland Baptist. Ball got into the low post, kiss off the glass. It was there.
12:35 to go on the left wing. Bryce Monroe going to work. Foul situation, team foul situation 5-4 here. Deep three-point shot there. Probably
stolen.
As the Lions couldn't maintain possession of the ball. Here comes Wayland Baptist with a chance to take the lead. McDougal. Looking, finds Flores. Flores being smothered. Cross-court pass.
Turnover.
And it's a turnover. Trying to get the ball in the hands on the other side to McDougal. That pass was a little off. Second down, 12:07 to go. And across the timeline goes Bryce Monroe. Ball in the hands of Jamison Epps. Now Joshua Smith on the right. And contact as he drives down the lane. Just left of the top of the key. Up fakes and drives downhill. And Joshua Smith goes back to the free throw line. He has 2 on the night so far. See if he can show us what his free throw game is looking like tonight.
Yeah, actually he needs to tighten that up because that's going to be where he's going to make his living. I mean, I can just tell that Wayland Baptist is very intent on not giving up any easy baskets.
Yeah. Misses the first one. Substitution. McCoy comes in. Also into the game, getting action tonight, Dalen Andrews. So one more shot coming for Smith. And he back rims that one. Shot no good that time.
Yeah, misses both of them.
And again, the free throws will be an issue tonight. Langston already early on is 4 of 8, 50%. Foul's going to be called against Amaro Lotto. Lotto kind of disagrees with that one a little bit. So once we hit 7, it's 1-1. Right now, Wayland Baptist has 16 fouls. Langston has 5. Going downhill and then kicking it out. And going to call travel. So discussion as James Lee's trying to ask the question on what exactly did I do. Across the timeline goes Andrews, hands off to Bryce. Back over to Lotto. Nice dribble there. Going to swing it inside, and he put too much pepper on that pass.
It was
Trying
there.
to dump it down to a rolling to the basket Joshua Smith, and was not able to connect.
Yeah, high pick and roll, caught the defense on a switch. And the break right to the front of the rim through the lane was wide open.
Right. Dribbling the ball above the circle now. Looking for space. Kick it to the corner, wide open three-point shot. Nobody picks it up.
Yeah.
And that shot there was knocked down nicely by Brett Leach. Leach knocking down the first three-pointer of the night. Wayland Baptist is one of two in that category. Joshua Smith now drives to the box, loses it off the double team. Nice double team. They double teamed him when he put the ball down on the floor.
Yep.
Andrews on the right ring, trying to get a screen. Andrews drives down Main Street.
That
the ball is
bounced on the way up.
McCoy trying to get that shot, could not.
Crowd wanted a goaltending.
So nonetheless, Wayland Baptist likes it. Coach Clint Galen likes it. The Pioneers up by 3. Handoff to McDougal. McDougal standing left of the logo. McDougal swings it over. Numeris up fakes, drives inside, kicks it to the corner. Corner three-point shot is good.
You can't leave him out there shooting threes.
And
now.
Brett Leach goes 2 for 2, and Coach Chris Wright very upset about the defensive rotation right now. 30-second timeout on the floor. Again, confusion going on now because, again, of the personnel change and the groupings. This is to be expected to have minutes where players are not sure on their role. They know how to play defense. If you're here at any Langston practice, you know Chris Wright's majority of the practice is about situational defense. The problem is the communication. If I step out and rotate, you got to kick it to the corner. But Brett Leach has found the fire early in this game and has decided to let his presence be known.
Well,
Brett
the
Leach
spacing.
has 6 in the first half.
Well, the spacing, right, is what's happening here. They are actually playing a three-man game with 2 shooters outside on the wing, and they're working the switches, knowing where the ball is going to rotate, and when they're rotating it as they move, catching Langston in the switches, that Langston's leaving that weak side open, and that pass is making its way over there to that outside shooter, and he's just sitting there waiting on it.
Back to live action now. Coming across the timeline now goes Bryce Monroe. Monroe gets the ball over to McCoy. Now trying to get the ball on the right wing. Monroe pulls up from the short corner. Can't get that shot to fall. Nice rebound there by James Lee. Monroe harassing him in the backcourt. Lee, another screen, hard screen at the top. Monroe fights through it. Jamison Epps stepping out. And you've got to stand out and keep contesting McDougal and find Brett Leach. Going to swing it over. Leach has it. Jamison Epps covering him. The Langston Lions defense is playing it with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Left the
swing
guy
it down
open.
low
Left
and down
the guy
low.
open.
And contact underneath as Kabin Kaba found himself all by himself down low. No one rotated or lost him in the wash. Now Kaba back to the free throw line in his own right. He only has 1 point, 1 rebound thus far. He's going to add to that total more than likely on this, as Wayland Baptist is now up 6 against the Lions. Kaba misses that free throw. He was 1 of 2 before that one, make that 1 of 3.
Yeah, it definitely appears that there is some confusion defensively.
So substitution. So coming back to the game, Alex Rojas is back in the game right now. And Kaba knocks down and goes 1 of 2, so he's now 2 of 4, 50% from the free throw line. But the lead is now up to 7, 8:18 to go before the end of the first half. Working the ball around, Bryce Monroe has it. Monroe on the right wing, trying to get the ball down on the box of Darius Hughes. Hughes trying to get an easy shot in. Hughes cannot get it to fall. Great defense again by Kaba. Lee and Cabo run into each other a little bit, but McDougal is straightening things out for Wayland Baptist. Now back in the hands, and a bounce pass over from Rojas. Lee looking for space. Lee with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now a deep three-point shot by Kabin Kaba.
Wow.
Knocks that one down, and the lead is up to 10. Wayland Baptist enjoying the largest lead of the night, 10 points overall, 20-10. The Lions need to find a way to stop the action, get to the free throw line, Gary. Both teams have 6 fouls apiece. Monroe drives down Main Street, fades away on a shot from the short corner, and another rebound controlled by Wayland Baptist, and back to work they go. Across the timeline.
Loose ball.
Ball is loose on a scramble. And who they give it to?
Yeah, they're going to call a charge.
Going to call a charge.
Yeah, Monroe actually drew the charge.
So substitution is Joshua Smith returns back to the game. Looks like Torrey Hunter is also back in the game now. 6:57 to go, and the Lions have 10 points in basically 13 minutes of action, Gary.
Yeah, this is
Andrews back in the game as well. Working the ball around the perimeter, trying to get some things going. Andrew has the ball knocked loose, but he recovers. Firing the ball, and Tony Hunter was not looking for it, but there was a crease, and Andrews almost seemingly, as they say, put it on a rope, Gary, right to him.
Yeah, no, that was one of those situations that Epps thought he saw something.
Lotto with the pull-up from the short corner, and we needed that jump shot. It had been almost 4.5 minutes since the last time the Lions have scored. 20-12 coming across the timeline now. Handing off now. Now driving down. Going to throw it back out. Three-point shot. It's no good. Rebound shot by Rojas is no good. Here come the Lions. Epps leading the way. Hands off now to Andrews. All right. Jamison Epps has it. Epps. Scramble, and the officials are going to say, are they going to call it on the floor or are they going to call a timeout?
They call a timeout.
Timeout has been called. 5:55 to go before the end of the first half. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. So, Gary, early in this game, the momentum looked like it was going to be played one way. Right now, both teams are not, Wayland is more efficient than Langston right now, obviously with the lead. 14 shots, 6 makes. 42.9%, that's 43 in my book.
Right.
3 of 6 from deep, 50%, so they've already added 9 on that category. Langston has yet to knock down a 3, 0 of 3, 4 of 15 overall shooting, 26.7%. So right now, the better shots belong to Wayland.
Yep.
Wayland's making more three-point shots than Langston.
Yep.
And then as far as the rebounding goes, they're out rebounding Langston right now 13-8.
Yeah. And what about the free throws?
And at the free throw line, both teams have been there 8 times apiece. Wayland's 5 of 8, Langston's 4 of 8.
Okay. Yeah, very, very inefficient game. Ugly game.
Yes. Going to work on an inbound pass to Joshua Smith, who catches it, and he makes the easy money and cashes that check at the bank.
Yeah, nice inbound play. Left Smith wide open at the rim.
Flores trying to work that ball down low, but the Lions are doing a good job of having one high above the big, one low behind the big. Switching up, and they're trying to fire with 1 second on the shot clock. Lotto ends up with it, and are they going to call a shot clock violation? They are, because it never hit the rim. Another good defensive performance by the Lions. And the Lions have the body. Chris Wright plays a smothering type of defense. You get tired, somebody else will come in and do it again.
Right.
Here comes Andrew leading the offense for the Lions.
Yeah, right now offense just not clicking. So when that happens, you got to play excellent defense. Oh, air ball by Epps.
Epps pulled up, and I don't really like the one leg in the air free throw.
Off-balance shot.
Off-balance shot when you don't need to.
For no reason, off-balance for
no
reason.
Rise up and shoot it.
Yeah, just rise up over the top. You're 6'6". Get up off the floor, take the shot, especially if it's at the free throw.
Here we go. Lee across the timeline now. Under 5 to go before the end of the first half. Lee goes to the basket.
Travel.
Then they're going to call traveling as the call. Lee disagrees. But the officials say.
He took 2 jump stops.
Yeah, he might have taken 2 jump stops. What I'm saying is what the officials say is what the officials say.
Right. But 2 jump stops is a travel.
Well, unless you're somebody else in the NBA. And I'll get in
James
trouble.
Harden? Come on, man.
No, I wasn't going to talk about James Harden, but you got the James right. All right,
okay.
ball.
LeBron.
Going to the basket. Goes
Nice
Joshua Smith with the power game inside.
Yeah.
20-16, 4:33 to go. Both teams with 6 fouls apiece. No one is trying to draw that 7th foul. Kind of surprising. Flores almost loses it. 3-point shot by Lee.
Wow.
Sweet string music on that one.
Yes, it was.
And Wayland Baptist remains hot.
Beautiful backspin on the ball.
From deep. 23-16 now. Lead up to 7. Joshua Smith gets it back in the hands now. Cameron Bryce. Six seconds on the shot clock. The Lions got to find some way to get it out, get the shot up. Darius Hughes can't get it. And again, fighting, and Hughes ends up with it. Hughes goes right back inside. He can't get it to fall. But 3 Wayland Baptist players. Hughes is having the toughest time on the inside right now.
He is. I mean, his shots are being altered. He had 2 opportunities there on that possession. Couldn't get it to fall.
As far as it goes, he is 0 for 3. And shot by Numeros is no good. Rebound pulled down by Hughes.
Yeah.
Across the timeline.
The ball rotating through cycle, it ends up with Hughes with under 10. And so, he's in a situation where he has to take it. But if I'm Hughes, I'm looking to make a pass.
And not just a pass, the right pass.
Right.
Monroe drives down. Deep 3-point shot. His time expires.
Did he draw rim?
And they're going to say, no, it did not draw rim. Shot clock violation. It will officially be Wayland Baptist ball.
Nice correction. We said draw whim.
Yeah. You caught me on that, you wascally wabbit. Tricks are for kids. 23-16, 2:58 to go.
No.
All right, ball's knocked out of bounds there by Lotto. Nice job.
Yeah, good defense on Lotto.
Flores and Lee trying to get the inbound play. Langston looks to extend their defense right now. Being picked up by Dalen Andrew. Now you got to get back. Darius Hughes, no one's paying attention, and missed the open man right in the lane for the Pioneer offense. But nonetheless, the ball goes out of bounds. It looks like it'll be Langston ball. I mean, when he threw it cross court, if he had just dropped the ball down low, there was a man, Wayland Baptist.
No, not Langston's ball. It's going to stay Wayland Baptist.
Oh, it's going to stay Wayland ball. Okay.
Yeah.
Lee. Trying to swing it inside, off-balance shot. She can't get it to fall. Nice rebound that time. Shot by Andrews, who's hit. And count the basket as contact as McDougal makes and hits.
Yeah, so that was Lemon Warren checking into the game.
Yes. So nice job by Dalen Andrews. Score it for Andrews.
Smith checking in for Hughes.
All right. Nice rotation. You always look at the rotation on how players are coming in. Every time I notice Josh Smith is out of the game, he's coming back into the game. How does that work?
Well, you know, they're switching them in and out of there so quick. You know, we're trying to call it and keep track of it at the same time.
Nice
hard.
front rim love as the ball lips and falls in and
McCoy's
knocks
in
the
game.
lead down to 4. Is there a timeout called, or we're just
No,
ready
they're
to
going
go?
to inbound. Yeah, ball was loose.
Coming across the timeline now goes James Lee, being picked up by Lotto. Cameron McCoy is also in the game now, who just returned to the game for the Lions.
Got another switch situation. Didn't pick it up.
All right.
Loose ball.
Loose ball. Lions weren't able to corral it. Back in the hands of the Pioneer with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Driving inside and turned away. Here come the Langston Lions. All the way to the basket goes Bryce Monroe and score the basket.
Nice fast break and finish by Bryce Monroe. Off the turnover, off the block shot. Lions come within 2.
Lions have begun to chip away with it, but it's been done with the defensive identity, eliminating some of the easy shots. Now, Wayland Baptist has also missed the opportunities for these easy shots on their offensive rotation on their end of the floor. Monroe knocks it down. Monroe with 7 points. If I'm not mistaken, it is. Make that a game high, 7 points.
Yeah, Monroe was due.
Kicking it to the corner, 3-point shot.
Rebound Monroe.
Monroe picks the rebound as McDougal could not find his zone to knock down the shot. Monroe taking a little bit of time off the clock. We're officially about under 90 seconds to go before the end of the first half. Monroe swings it over to Lotto. Lotto drives down Main Street, goes with the floater.
Too strong.
Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Brett Leach. In the lane goes James Lee. Lee looking.
Turnover.
Looking. Turnovers. Right now is Monroe's going to end up getting credit with the steal. 23-22. The Lions looking for the lead on this possession. Joshua Smith cuts to the basket, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound, and is fouled and will go to the free throw line shooting 2.
Yeah, I was sitting there wondering if he was going to rise up and dunk it, if he was going to pull up the short jumper and try to finish it. What was he going to do with it? He went right to the cup, drew the foul.
So far, the Lions have been able to disrupt the offensive flow from Wayland Baptist. Smith knocks down the free throw. So first free throw is down, and we're all tied up right now, Gary, at 23. It just seems like a week ago the Lions were down 10. But here they are climbing the mountain, and Joshua Smith puts them over the top at 24-23 with a minute to go.
Smith subbing out. Cameron Bryce comes in.
No need to pick up any cheap fouls. That's what I'm thinking if you are Coach Chris Wright.
Yep, getting him out of here, 60 seconds. Let's save him.
Flores hands off to number 12, which is Brett Leach. Handoff, Flores fires from deep for 3, and Flores gets all 3 of them. Or was it a 2? As it stands right now, it might be just a 2, 26-24. Monroe trying to take some time off the clock, 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Got to go.
Right wing. McCoy drives inside, strong to the basket, can't get it to fall. 15-second shot clock turned off. Flores, who just hit a 3, swings it.
There it is.
Wide open shot by Brett Leach, and Leach misses the 3. Rebound, drifting back to the corner. Shot no good. Both Lions run into each other. No one's able to.
Foul.
And there's a foul called with 1.7 seconds left to go.
Long rebounds.
So Bryce Monroe being called with the foul. So Darius Hughes checks in as massive substitutions come in the game. the way Coach Chris Wright wants it. And the object here is if he misses it, get the rebound, don't allow him to get a putback. That's why all the bigs are in. And he knocks it down. One more coming to Leach.
That's nice free throw shooting right there.
So nice job, and the lead is extended back to 4. 1.7 seconds left to go. And trying to get the shot off as time expires. Nothing doing there. And officially, we are at the OERB halftime. We'll be right back with that halftime report. Tonight's game is being sponsored by LU Athletics, the Black Chronicle newspaper, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, OERB, and Tinkle Federal Credit Union. We'll be back on the other side. This is Langston Lion men's basketball.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe, and it never fails. Every time I visit this state and talk to the folks in the energy business, I learn something world-changing. The technology here is bleeding edge, and so is the focus on the environment. As for the people, they're among the smartest, most innovative, most talented workers I've ever had the pleasure of meeting anywhere. They're busy keeping our modern life going. Not a bad career choice, if you ask me. See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
We heal.
We produce.
We discover. We nurture.
We show out.
We excel.
We restore.
Nosotros restauramos.
We educate.
We win.
Welcome to the OERB Halftime Report. Maurice Prince and Gary Woods here. If you want to know who's doing a whole lot for the state of Oklahoma, look no further than the good people of the Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas. From contributing billions to education, funding medical research, and supporting the arts, they are deeply invested in the well-being of our state, and they are the sponsor of this Halftime Report. Maurice Prince and Gary Woods here. Gary, we saw the Lions fall down as far as the biggest margin in the first half. Langston was down by 10. Langston's biggest lead was 4. The Lions kept trying to climb back on top, but every time they thought they could get there, Wayland Baptist would knock down a key shot. Wayland Baptist would execute, and once again showing why this team is to be dealt with here tonight and feel like they can come in here and get a win just as easily as they defended home court back almost 4.5, 5 months ago.
Yeah, no, you're right. And as I look at the game, and as I called it earlier, I was thinking to myself, golly, Wayland is making this game ugly, right? Coming in with defensive intensity, and that defensive intensity is leading to a lot of just non-productivity. And meanwhile, you know, they're hitting a few more. They're hitting a few three-pointers. Langston's not. But what jumps out at me just right off the ripper is the rebounds, total rebounds. Langston is actually trailing Wayland Baptist 20-14. So Wayland Baptist is +6 in that category. And then as far as everything else is concerned, you know, Langston's taking more field goal attempts than Wayland, but the production is not there in terms of just overall productivity. Is there anything that jumps out to you, Mo?
Absolutely it does. Wayland Baptist has made 15 points off three-pointers. They are 5 of 12, where Langston is 0 of 5, haven't been able to get the long ball going tonight. And you said Wayland Baptist has led the way and making this game ugly. That's been a part of why Chris Wright has been frustrated with this group, because the defense needs to lead to easy offensive baskets, and it's not happening. And so that's one of those things where we keep seeing these lows in the offensive play, on the offensive set, where Langston finds himself making difficult shots. There'll be a couple of runs while you'll see a guy like Bryce Monroe, who is number 2 in scoring in the first half by scoring 7 points. But if I had told you tonight coming into the game that Joshua Smith would be the team's leading scorer, the 8 points is coming from him, you'd say thank you, Josh Smith.
Yeah, most definitely.
But that's not where you're expecting to see points from. You're looking for guys like Mario McKinney. You're looking for guys like who am I? Amaro Lotto to be making some productive shots on that end, on the offensive end.
Right.
And when you got those guys,
and then Epps.
And Epps with no points.
Right.
Mario McKinney with 2, and you've got Amaro Lotto with 4. But that's not enough to carry what you need to beat a team that's playing at such a level as this. Now, what makes this game ugly is it's where they bring the size. They've got enough size, and when you compensate for the power game that Wayland Baptist brings in their personnel, then they turn around and counter you with speed and height in the guard play. And if the long ball's not falling for Langston, the offense begins to mutter down, and then you find yourself in a situation where you're down 4 points. First of all, let's give credit where credit is due. Wayland Baptist is playing a really good game.
I was about to say, Wayland Baptist has something to do with that. I mean, they really jammed up the lane. They've been denying, you know, really, really clean looks at the basket. They've been physical out on the floor. We've seen some ball screens, you know, some off screens that have been absolutely punishing. And then they've been rebounding extremely well. I mean, again, 2014 +6. You know, in a game that's 28-24, that's a big difference.
It's huge. And the other fact is this. You're Langston, and you're at home. You have the home rims, the home touch. You're still looking for point production. On the bench, Wayland Baptist is outscoring you 8-3. So, I mean, and the margin is 4. So here we go again. So there's so many things. And you're like, okay, well, Langston, can you get points in the paint? Langston's without their big down low. So you've got to say, all right, we're reverting to more jump shots. Langston has 8 points in the paint to Wayland Baptist's 6, but it's not enough to offset what Wayland Baptist is doing on the efficiency on the offensive end.
Right.
So again, this is not about what Langston's failing to do. It's about what Wayland Baptist is doing well. And I don't have any problem in acknowledging that. But at the same point in time, this is the number 8 team in the country. If you're Langston, you've got to defend it. You've got to bring the intensity. And the lineups of bringing the new players in, they're still trying to figure out their spots in the offense. But it's hard to do when when the team as itself is shooting 8 of 27, 29%, and you're at home on 2s.
Well, right now, the 3 balls that Wayland Baptist have been shooting and hitting, which I don't know how many you're showing. How many have they hit? 5?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the difference in this game.
Right.
That's the difference in this game right now. And everything else, with the exception of the rebounds, is pretty much dead even. And when you look at the overall numbers, Langston has been less efficient. Less efficient just in terms of overall shots.
So when we're looking at things overall here, Gary, I'm looking at a couple of things going back to the game that they played back at the Hutchinson Center back in Plainview just a little while ago. At that time, you're talking about Wayland Baptist in a game. When you start talking about the first half of the game, they basically blew Langston out. They shot 15 of 25, 60% from 2s, 9 of 25 from 3s, 36%. I'm sorry, 6 of 13 from 3s, 46% in the first half of that game. Yeah. Where Langston ended up shooting 50 and 42. You're like, well, that's not bad. But when you finish the game 48 and 36 respectively against Langston, that was 40 and 28 in the overall shooting. Those tell you something.
What was the overall scoring in that game?
The score was 71-63. But here's the number that tells you the story. Langston was 9 of 20 from the free throw line, 45%.
Oh.
Now, Wayland Baptist wasn't much better, 15 to 22, 68%, but that's 70.
Yeah, but that's close to 70.
That's close to 70.
Right.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
So those are the factors in the game. So, in other words, this game is lining up Langston was down 3 points at the end of the first game.
Right.
They're down 4 in the first half of this one. Wayland would say, I've got you right where I want you.
Right. Deja vu all over again.
So things have got to be a little different now. So starting off the second half of this game, Jamison Epps, Cameron Bryce, Bryce Monroe, and Smith.
Got to get production out of Epps. Got to get production out of Lotto.
Lotto drives, tries to kick it. The ball's off the shoe, and it looks like it will be Langston ball and remain with the lines, and it does.
Lotto goes and he is attacking. Nothing's there. Reverse the ball, come right back out.
And I would like, Joshua Smith, since you already got 8, I'd try to see if I can get 20. And how do you do that? By rolling to the basket when someone's driving to give them another passing angle. And driving to the basket goes Cameron Bryce.
Yeah, good move by Bryce.
And Bryce gets on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Cameron Bryce with 2 points on the night. Lions down 2, 19-27 to go in the second half of this game. Lions extending pressure again, man-for-man defense. The Lions' defense has been good. McDougal drives inside, scoop shot, no good. Rebound and put down again, and an excellent shot by Kabine Kaba.
Yeah, Kaba again hitting the boards hard, getting the ball right off the shoulders of Jamison Epps.
30-26, got to box out. I mean, the Lions are definitely missing Igo Efe tonight, and that is a factor in the game, but it cannot be an excuse.
Yeah,
going to work. Driving down the lane, Monroe gets it down to Joshua Smith, and he had his hands up. Good that he catches it. And then the reason why I'm going to throw it out there, and I know this is not supposed to be something I reference in the game, the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight we know they are without Chet Holmgren.
Right.
And if you didn't know, they're without the new big guy.
Who? Hartstein?
Hartstein. He didn't play tonight. And yet they smoked the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight.
Oh, did they smoke them? Wow. So how many did SGA have?
He decided to drop a 40-piece tonight.
40-piece. That boy there, MVP.
So 18-28 to go, 30-28.
For all you Maverick fans, MVP. That's all I'm going to say. SGA, MVP.
All right, going to work. Bryce Monroe now has it.
He out there abusing people.
Ball in the hand now is Joshua
Shot.
Smith.
Come on, Smith.
Smith was rolling to the basket.
Yeah.
Bryce missed the opportunity to get it to him. Smith has the pass deflected, but it remains in the Langston Lion possession. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Monroe looking. Monroe working inside. Kissing it off the glass. Shot no good. Rebound by Kaba. Here comes Lee. Lee swings it over to Flores. Flores drives. Kicks it back out to Kaba. Swing to the corner. Shot. No good that time. Lions can't control it. Yes, they do. Bryce Monroe has it. So Monroe across the timeline now. Hands it off to Epps. Epps hands it off to Lotto. Back to Monroe. The Lions down 2, looking to tie this game. Monroe. Deep shot by Cameron Bryce. Front rim shot no good, but rebound by Lotto. Lotto can't get it, but Joshua Smith picks up the loose change and scores.
Yeah, he was Johnny on the spot there. Couple of bad shots.
Timeout being called here by Clint Galen.
30 off.
Tied up at 30, and so right now there's going to be a change because you're going to see an identity have to be shifted by Wayland Baptist. If Joshua Smith is going to find himself rolling to the basket, if I'm Chris Wright, I'm telling him that circle area, underneath that area, that's where you need to be. If you're on one side of it, roll to the other. If you're on one other side, roll back to the other.
But stay on that block.
Stay on that block.
Yeah.
You got one job. Stay on that line.
Stay on that line. You stay on that block.
Because that's the only way to counter.
You all the offense I got going right now. Stay down there.
And you can get away with that if your guards like Lotto, Bryce Monroe are penetrating, drawing a Wayland Baptist defender. You can find it. So now Joshua Smith in the double digits now firmly with 12, and he is a game-high 12. When we start looking at performances overall, that's just an important factor that you have to keep in mind and something that you want to see this team continue to do. So now going back to work. Ball in the hands. Going to swing it. Wide open three-point shot from the left wing, and it's pure as Numeros knocks it down. 33-30.
You just can't let guys sit out there and take a look. Not this team. Remember, they beat you by shooting the 3-ball.
All right, Bryce Monroe getting the ball over to Hughes as Joshua Smith gets a breather. Inside to Hughes. Hughes,
nice.
Power game and gets the shot. He just needed to be a step faster.
Yep.
But he got the shot in nicely. Langston down by 1. Team foul situation. Wayland Baptist has 1. Langston has none, but they left the doorway open.
What happened?
Driving it in and slamming it home goes James Lee.
Wow.
So 35-32. James Lee said, ooh, looky what I found.
I mean, just left it wide open from the key to the rim.
Hughes hands it back to Monroe.
Oh, missed on the switch.
And Monroe drives down, or throws it down low to Hughes, and Hughes had a chance. You just got to find a way, if you're a big guy, just get it up off the glass and see if you can get the and one.
Yep.
Doesn't matter that you know the contact is coming, just find a way to throw it up. And it looks like we've got, do we have an intentional foul being called here?
I don't know what they're calling.
So
it was definitely a shooting foul.
So are the officials reviewing this, or what's the call here?
Double check, because Hughes actually got up in a motion to retaliate.
Okay. So you got to understand that you are the hunted. Meaning that you're going to take every team's cheap shot that they can give you when you're number 8 in the country.
You're going to get the cheap shot, the best shot, the last shot, the first shot. You know, I mean, you're the number 8 team in the nation, sitting on top of the conference.
And Wayland Baptist says, I want the invitation to beat you twice.
Right.
I mean, the Langston girls upset number 12, and now the Wayland Baptist team wants to upset number 8. And Darius Hughes misses free throw number 1.
Yep.
So team fouls 3 against Wayland Baptist, 1 against Langston. And that's actually a good number for Langston, but you got to knock down those free throws. 1 of 2 goes Hughes. Pulls the Lions within 2, 6:18 to go. Here comes Flores being picked up right now by Monroe. Monroe with a good defense. Monroe looking to try and turn the corner. Nice denial there by Monroe. Dribbling into the lane. Flores going to kick it to the corner. And driving inside goes McDougal. He can't get it to fall.
Rebound
this time,
Epps.
Jamison Epps. Jamison Epps, who's had a quiet night, has got to find a way to get going to help this team.
Uncharacteristic. Epps has no points.
Hughes now has it. Monroe looking for a crease. Backs it out. Works it into the lane. Turns and fires. Shot off the rim. Kareem's Jamison Epps tries to get it. And they're going to say Langston ball, or is it going to be Wayland Baptist?
Good hustle play by Epps. He was able to get to the ball, save it, and then throw it off of the Wayland Baptist defender.
So 35-33, 15-34 to go. Lions trying to get it in bounce, and they do to Monroe. Monroe on the left wing. He's working. Monroe gets it to the corner. Shot by Jamison Epps.
First basket by Epps, 3-ball.
First shot of the night. 3-pointers coming from Epps. And now Langston has the lead, 36-35.
Got to rotate
back on
side.
top.
There you go.
So working it up. Numeros looking for a crease. Tries to drive on Epps. Epps turns him away. McDougal for 3.
Long.
He can't get it to fall. This time
Lemon.
it's being pulled down by Lemon Warren.
Good rebound by Lemon Warren. That's what you want. You want possessions, one shot, rebound, transition.
Going to work.
Three-man weave up top.
Epps, hopefully that 3-point shot will get him going. The Lions up by 1.
Yep.
Nip and tuck all the way. This is going to have to be a game that you earn if you're Langston tonight. Inside pass to Hughes. He wasn't quite ready for it. Scramble for the ball. No one has it. Now Wayland Baptist comes up with it. The Lions got to retreat on defense. Flores pushes the ball. Gets the ball over to McDougal. Back over to Flores. Flores up fakes, drives down. Hughes helps turn him away. McDougal retrieves the errant pass. Warren Lemon, excuse me.
Foul on the floor.
Foul on the floor. So Lemon Warren being called for the foul, but brand new team coming back. Jamison Epps stays in along with Andrews and Lotto. Dalen Andrews and Amaro Lotto all back in the game. 14-18 to go. So working the ball now, Quentin Coleman, who had 2 quick fouls, got pulled a lot early in the first half, had not really got a chance to get his game in play. Let's see what kind of impact he has in the second half of this one.
Good.
Nice job,
Stolen.
Joshua Smith with the steal. Here comes Andrews. Andrews going to kick it over to Lotto. Lotto drives to the lane and tries to dump it off, but nice recovery by the Pioneer defense, cutting off all the passing lanes. It will remain Langston Lion ball.
Yeah, I mean, Wayland, they do a very good job of running the floor.
Ball in the hands of Joshua Smith at the elbow. Andrews turns downhill and will be called for the foul. Will be called on the floor and not on the attempt. 4th team foul now against Langston's 2.
36-35, 13-51.
So if you're Langston, you keep attacking and get to the free throw line. You just got to knock it down.
Yes.
So trying to get the ball in bounds, and they do. Ball in the hands now of Jamison Epps. Epps turns, fades, shot. It's money. Jamison Epps with 5 second-half points. And that's what the Lions need as they extend the lead back to 38-35.
Yeah, that was nice athletic play, nice
make
turnaround
that 40.
jump shot.
Should be 40-35, right? No, it's not. It's not. It's 38. It's 38.
All right.
Number 8, starting to look like it now. Coming across the timeline goes Quentin Coleman. Coleman draws contact that time as Cameron McCoy bumps him. Team foul number 3.
Coleman McCoy is a true 3-4 type guy that, quite honestly, since he's been here at Langston, they've been using him in the low post. He's been guarding, 4. And so, I always kind of cringe when I see those switches happen and then they're up on a one or a two trying to defend away from the basket like that. That's one of those deals where you're like, geez, Louise,
Nice job by Amaro Lotto. Defense to offense for the Lions. Now going back to work now.
There's that switch again.
Working the ball up top, trying to get it. Andrews fighting over the screen, and now trying to get the ball in the hands that time. They're trying to work that ball around, Gary, and get it on that mismatch with McCoy.
Yep.
So fourth team foul coming against the Lions there. And as far as players in difficulty in foul situation, you've got Bryce Monroe with 2 fouls, Jamison Epps with 2, and Hughes with 2. Ball up top, Monroe being covered. Coleman fires a deep three-point shot, can't get it to fall, and the ball ricochets off the shoe of McCoy, and it will remain. Nice job by Wayland Baptist saving that play.
Yeah, that was a great hustle play by Wayland Baptist.
So now Lotto bumps McDougal. Swinging it over, McDougal drives inside. Dribbling around the top. McDougal tries to get it inside and draws contact. Foul's going to be called this time against Joshua Smith, and surprisingly enough, that's his first foul.
Oh, wow.
40-35, 12:46 to go. Ball at the free throw line right now. McDougal is getting ready to shoot it. 5-4. Shot is up. Back rims, no good. Andrews comes out of the game, and now so Cameron Bryce returns to the game now.
Cameron Bryce is amusing to me because when he walks in, he walks kind of like an older gentleman. But then when he starts playing basketball and starts moving, he gets young all of a sudden.
McDougal goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line.
But when he walks in like everything hurts.
Team foul number 5, so 5-4 is what it is right now. Ball in the hands of Lotto, who swings it over to Bryce. Bryce working it down low. Bryce going to force a shot up. Bad shot selection there.
He's just going to take that one, huh?
12:21 to go. Lions up by 4. Wayland Baptist still trying to fire the ball. Nice job in anticipation by Lotto. Here comes Bryce Monroe. Bryce goes left, right, Euro to the basket and drops the deuce in.
Yeah, that's
42-36.
Great one-man fast break there with
Screen up top, and that time Lotto went to challenge the shot, that time by Andola Soon, but Soon was able, nice fake, and draws the foul on Amaro Lotto. And for Lotto, that is foul number 2, team foul number 6 with 12 minutes to go. And I'm telling you now, a substitution as McCoy comes out, also Bryce comes out, returning the game returns is Lemon Warren. He comes back in the game, so does Jamison Epps. And I'm going to tell you this now, with Langston getting those 3 two fouls in the last minute and a half, Gary.
Yeah.
They're now on the precipice of kicking over to the 1-and-1, the bonus.
Yeah.
12 minutes to go. It's too much time on the clock for that for Wayland.
No.
Wayland will take all day and make that happen. Ball in the hands now of Coleman. Coleman trying to get down low. Nice job by Joshua Smith denying that passing lane, and stepping on the end line right there was Brett Leach. So it will remain, or will go to the Lions there, 42-36. Lions up 6, 11:52 to go. Tonight's game is being brought to you by LU Athletics, the Black Chronicle newspaper, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, OERB, and Tinker Federal Credit Union. Maurice Prince and Gary Woods on the call. Thank you for tuning in tonight on PPBC TV. Tell a friend to download the app so they can watch it too. Ball in the hands now of Bryce Monroe. Monroe dribbling on the logo. Monroe finds a crease, kicks it to the corner. Three-point shot is no good. A nice retrieval there by Jamison Epps. Lotto kicks it to the corner. Lemon Warren for three, and he sees the three. He is the three, and the Lions expand the lead just a little bit more. Lemon Warren now with his first points of the night. He's got 3. 45-39 is the score. Lions up by 6. Coleman drives down Main Street, tries to finish in the lane and draws contact on Joshua Smith, who picks up foul number 2.
Yeah, he went right into Smith's chest. Hughes coming to the scorer's table, seeking to check in. I think he's going to – who's he in for, Smith or Lemon Warren?
So Wayland taking a full timeout, and we'll take one here as well. You're listening to Langston Lion men's basketball, brought to you by LU Athletics, the Black Chronicle newspaper, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, OERB, and Tinker Federal Credit Union. If you like great high school and great college action, then PPBC TV is where it is. Coming up, some great action tomorrow night on PPBC TV as the Edmond Santa Fe Wolves will be taking on the PC North Panthers. That's live on PPBC TV. That game will start right around 6 o'clock with the girls' game and the boys' game following that. Also, Class 3A number 1 Mighty Millwood Falcons will be in action tomorrow night, taking on Class 2A number 1 Dale. That's right. Dale will be in action. Millwood versus Dale tomorrow night. That game also begins at 6:30 tomorrow, and the boys begin tomorrow night at 8. So don't miss out on that.
Is that game at Dale or at Millwood?
So that game is at Dale.
Where's Dale?
Dale is basically right across the street from the Grand Casino.
Oh, nice.
So going to work now, shot by Coleman is no good, and it misses there. Now going back to work.
Rebound by Hughes.
Ball in the name of Hughes now. So now going to work. Ball in the hands now. Working the ball around the perimeter. Now driving into the lane. 10 now, 10:46 to go.
Loose ball, turnover.
Lotto with the steal. The Lion defense is locking in and showing its true pedigree here at CF Gales. Andrews backs it up. Andrews on the night so far has 5 points on the night.
Lemon Warren
from the corner, and another three-point shot as it's going downtown, and it's working all over the place now as the Lions have now started to heat up overall tonight, Gary. The three-pointer is not always our favorite shot, but when those shots start to fall, sometimes it's mighty pretty.
Yeah, no, you'll take it.
So going to work right now, working the ball around. Ball on the left wing, ball back up top. Leach looking for airspace. Hughes doing a good job of cutting it off and suffocating it. He draws a foul, but I'll take that effort from Hughes on that play.
Yeah, no, I'm still wondering where the foul was, but, did I miss it? Was that a hand check? Is that what the call is?
Basically, that's what they're saying.
Okay, hand check.
Because it couldn't have been blocking. because, I mean, he did a great job of angling, so
Right,
that really
right.
wasn't the case.
Right.
So it had to be something with the hands, and that's the only way we could hope that it was. Leach at the free throw line. Now, as the Lions are now in the the Pioneers are in the bonus. Misses the first one, 50-37, 13-point advantage, 9:56 to go in this contest. Substitutions again. As returning back to the game is Cameron Bryce. Jamison Epps is back in the game as well, along with Joshua Smith. Joshua Smith remains the game's high flyer right now with 12 points on the night thus far. Leach has 8 points. He is the high scorer. Make that 9 points now for the Pioneers. Back to work come the Lions. Bryce Monroe coming across the timeline now. 9:52 to go in the contest. Left wing, Lions set up to go. 2 on the high post before they start to rotate down. Let's see how the Wayland Baptist defense reacts. Driving inside goes Smith. Smith going to swing it down low. Deflected out of bounds, and they say it's off Jamison Epps, and it is Pioneer ball. Now, the situation was when Joshua Smith made his move into the lane there, he got right there, what they say, in the restricted area. But when he got there, he had a player there, but he chose not to unload the pass immediately, and it gave Wayland a chance to recover, forcing the turnover in that situation. Working the ball around, going to swing it. Now Coleman down the lane, draws contact, and scores the basket. Jamison Epps said, what did I do? You caught him with the body that time.
Yep. If you're going to foul him. Don't let him make the basket, right?
Lead has been cut down to 10. 9th team foul for Langston, which means the double bonus on the next foul. Coleman at the free throw line. And with the clock stopped, this is how Wayland Baptist can chip away. Coleman knocks down the free throw. And Coleman, after having a slow start, now has 3 points. Epps to throw it in, and he does to Monroe. Monroe across the timeline. Ball in the hands of Dalen Andrews now. Andrews could have swung it. Jamison Epps finally gets it down low, and that's there all night long based on the defense that they're playing.
Yeah, that was a two-man game to the weak side. It was there the first time, just didn't make the pass.
Epps now with 7 on the night. Looking for airspace. There is none. Nice pass down low, and soon scores the ball for the Pioneers. Knocks the lead back down to 9. Under 8.5 to go. Langston still on attack mode, Gary. They've got to be.
Yeah, no, they have to. They got to grind this one out. With 8 minutes and 27 seconds, they got to make sure that every single possession matters. That shot is off.
Epps shooting the 3 there. Shot off to the left. He doesn't like the result of the shot. I'm going to be honest, I didn't quite like that shot in that situation.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it either. I mean, you're below you're under 10 minutes. Okay, you got to lead. You're not in a hurry, right? What you need to do when you're up by 10 is continue to trade baskets, get to the free throw line.
Shot again by Coleman is no good. Rebound that time by Bryce. Bryce dumps it to Monroe. 8:05 to go. Ball across the timeline now. Going to get the ball in the hands now of Lotto. Now back in the hands of McCoy, doing the weave at the top. Let's see if the Lion offense can stay hot as we now are at 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now let's go offensively. Lotto to Monroe. Monroe is bumped there by Andola Soon. And Monroe says he's all right. He just needs a minute. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
Yeah, I hope it's just a cramp.
Monroe sliding around the ground. He says, no, I don't need no help.
Well, that's not good because you don't have Mario McKinney. Now your starting point guard Monroe
it looks like a cramp.
Is down with what looks like a cramp.
But
now you're going with Anderson and you're bringing in the new transfer.
Well, you are, but at least you know that Dalen Andrews can handle the ball.
Yeah, he can handle the ball. He can shoot it too. Yeah, it's definitely a cramp, yeah. So he just got jammed up a little bit.
So
you know, that's kind of like when I try to get out of bed too fast. You know, that old cramp hit me in the calf. I get it. Have you ever had a cramp in the arch of your foot?
No, I have not had that great experience yet, Gary.
Yeah, man. Or you in one toe. You know,
just, you have been serious about that
man,
toe.
You catch a cramp in the toe next to the pinky toe, and it just sticks down, and it don't. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. You just sitting there looking at it like, how in the world
did I there looking at Gary,
cramp?
Come on now.
Man, I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth.
Life of those dedicated athletes.
Hey, ex-athlete, old athletes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In other words, counting the cost.
Man, I'm telling you.
So I'm glad to see that we were able to see Bryce Monroe be able to deal with that cramp at that time.
If I got to lift my leg to climb over something, you know how you straddle it when you lift your leg, and I have to lift my foot too high, it's a guaranteed hamstring cramp immediately, just by lifting my leg up.
Gary, we're going to have a moment of silence for those moments for you.
Man,
Dalen Andrews doing work, going to throw it over. Bryce fires a three. Shot is no good. Nice attempt.
Rebound followed by Smith.
McCoy doesn't get it, but Smith does. 54-43, the Lions up by 11. The largest lead in the game was 10 by Wayland Baptist. The Lions now have it at 11. So now on the other end, they're going to call a hand check foul.
Yeah.
So looks like that puts them in the double bonus now. Now Flores going to the free throw line shooting 2. 7:17 to go. And that gives them an opportunity now, Gary, to extend the game.
Yep.
So Flores knocks down that first free throw.
And this is not a bad time to do that, right? You're 7 minutes out, and and you're behind enough to where you can try to play that free throw, double possession type game.
So Flores goes 2 of 2 at the free throw line. And now going back to work. Ball in the hands, and Bryce Monroe is back in. Got that cramp dealt with. And we're finally under 7 with 16 on the shot clock. Lotto now over to Smith. On top to Andrews, who swings it back down to Smith. Smith up fakes.
Shot was there when he got it off the roll.
And now a deep shot by Monroe, which was not the best shot to have.
Yep.
And now the lead is cut down to 9, and here come the Pioneers. Flores looks at the 3, swings it over to Nameros. Nameros kicks it to the corner, up fake by McDougal. McDougal on the box, steps inside, gets it up and under, shot no good. Rebound tracked down by Kaba. And Monroe, still dealing with that cramp.
Yeah, but I'm also seeing now the reaching fouls and stuff like that are starting to be called, hand check fouls. It hadn't been called all game, and now you're getting within 6-7 minutes, and now you're starting to get these hand check calls and reaching calls, and it's like, come on now, that it's just to me bad timing for those calls to come out.
McDougal misses the first free throw. Monroe's going to check out of the game wisely because that cramp is coming back. But I'm glad we're bringing back in Lemon Warren back in the game.
Yep.
We're also getting Jamison Epps back in the game as well. No, Monroe is still out there.
Yeah, Monroe's still out
there.
there.
Dalen Andrews came out.
He's still working on that cramp, too.
And McDougal knocks down the free throw. So now 54-46. 8-point. And so Leach comes in for Flores. No. Or who does Leach come in for? I didn't quite see who that one is. I'll figure it out in just a second here.
Everybody on the floor for Wayland, they're shooting 3 balls.
46-54. Again, Wayland in the double bonus now. The Lions have not attacked enough to get to the free throw line on their own. But again, I'm not really interested in getting to the free throw line as much as I am as in taking time off the clock and efficient possessions.
Yep. Being patient, making the extra pass, working the ball around, waiting for the right look.
16 foul being called against Wayland Baptist right now.
Right. This is where, the Langston coaching staff, they're coming up with the set, and they know how to run through the set, got the second set lined up to where as soon as you transition through it, you don't have anything, you roll right back into the second set, there it is.
Record comes in the game, is also returning the game, goes James Lee, out comes Kaba. So now trying to do some work out there is Cameron Bryce back in the hands of Monroe. 9 seconds on the shot clock. They've got to go to work. There was an opportunity there. Bryce didn't see it. Monroe tries to drive inside, scramble, and now the ball's in the hands of James Lee. Lee's pushing it. Nice defense and recovery. What a beautiful pass
kick
and
by
a
Lemon
shot
Warren.
pinned against the glass there by Lemon Warren. I said that wasn't sour. That was sweet.
Monroe's down on the floor.
And you know that cramp is still bothering him. He's trying to play through it, but you could take the risk of doing some damage here if you stay on there, playing through the cramp, correct? Am I understanding?
You don't want to risk that injury, we're hoping that it's just a cramp. Let's just start with that.
Because you can do damage to.
Right. Well, you could hurt yourself. You just got to, and then in addition to that, that's where your physical therapist, your athletic trainer, they got to make a quick assessment, and just say, hey, what exactly is this, right? I mean, is it just a cramp?
Because you don't want a player like of his caliber getting hurt.
No.
But what a shot block there for those who are watching on PPBC TV by Lemon Warren.
Yeah.
And again, that block may have felt sour to Wayland Baptist, but it was sweet for Langston.
Oh, most definitely. Well,
anytime you're dealing with somebody with the name Lemon, you got to go that route.
I know, right? He sounds like he's an old school. He's like, Lemon Warren. He kind of reminds me of an old school NBA player.
Yeah.
The name and everything. What's your name? Lemon Warren. Okay.
You gonna know me.
Yeah, you gonna know me. That's a name that's hard to forget.
Hey, that's what I said. Then he
comes in here and fires up some threes.
I'm gonna throw this out there one more time because you didn't hear me when I said it the first time. I said I'm Lemon. I said, hey, you might think my game is sour, but it sure is sweet.
Oh. All he needs is some of them old school tube socks, man. He be bringing it all the way back.
I'll never forget during the Court of Dreams how you got to hollering when you saw them long. That was the Millwood game.
That was I love that old school, that throwback stuff, man. Come on now.
Going to work now. Working the ball up top. And James Lee with another steal. And he finishes again with another flush on the other side. 54-48, and Chris Wright's going to have to call for time here.
Nah, it's the net.
The net has been causing some problems all night long here. I don't know if the ball will be able to correct this problem. And they've been having issues with that. And they said every time they take every time they try to take that away and deal with it, again, trying to get it done, Jamison Epps, leave him to address it, and he does. And he wisely jumped on the backside of the rim.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't need no
break nothing.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, please don't. 54-48, 5:16 to go. The team foul situation is very important now. 16 fouls, and Bryce Monroe is back again. Trying to see if they can get him to finish out the rest of this game. He's gutting it out, folks. Bryce Monroe playing with the heart of a lion tonight. Jamison Epps up fakes at the free throw line, tries to drive it, and right there, Lemon Warren's game is sweet.
And
56-48, count the basket for Lemon Warren.
I'm going to start calling him old school. Oh, Lemon Warren, old school. Throwback.
So going to work, 56-48, 4:57 to go, and that's got to be something. And to me, Lemon Warren has been an X factor in this game. He didn't see a lot of playing time, but when they needed it, he's exploded with 8 points off the bench.
He's been a guy that Coach Wright could call on, and he's one of those guys that's like, okay, defense, got it. Okay, rebounding, okay, got it.
Whatever you need.
Whatever you need. I got it.
No. What I'm saying is he just didn't have an opportunity until the second half of this game to have an impact, but he has done just that.
No, but I'm just talking about all the games that I've seen him play. When they put him in, it's almost like he kind of goes in understanding his assignment, and that's just what he does. And I love ball players like that, right? They're not trying to do too much. They're always, giving you a little bit of something that you quite honestly didn't expect because they're unselfish type players.
No, so to talk about that, to comparatively speaking, since we're in the Oklahoma area, we watch the Thunder play. Going to bring an element to the game. Now, we know Alex Caruso is by defense now, but he earned his stripes in the G League by being an X-Factor player.
Yep.
Then he became an X-Factor player for the Lakers, winning a championship with them, and then he went to Chicago. There was an X-Factor player there, and it continued to give you whatever you needed. And Lemon Warren is that type of a guy. A guy who has all the tools in the toolbox. You just tell him what you need him to bring to the party, and he brings it. Lemon Warren does just that. Great job by him on that play. Completes the three-point play and pushes the Lion lead back to 10. Less than 5 minutes to play now.
And he's a junior, so hopefully, we'll have him back next year.
All right, going to work. Inside goes Coleman. Coleman throws it off the glass and scores the basket, and count it. Count the basket for Coleman. 57-50, down to a 7-point margin. It could get cut down to a 6-point margin now. So again, scoring with the clock stopped. Coleman had a slow start to the game. Got a couple of fouls and had to sit for majority of the first half. He's come back in the second half of the game and dropped 5. But we're talking about a 6-point game. Every point is necessary now. So now extending pressure are the Pioneers. 4:41 to go. Number 8 trying to defend home court.
There's that trap in the corner.
And then Bryce Monroe calls for time. As again, players were not in the right place, and so Bryce called it. And again, Chris Wright angry about the situation.
He's like, why are you going to the trap? Stay in the middle of the floor.
And that's what he's trying to do. Again, these are the plays that you're going to have to understand the situation of the ball. And Bryce, right now, if you're on the floor, we know you're hurt. We know you're not 100%. But you've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to have an understanding of the situation and where we are in this game.
Right. And you're only up by 6, and it's still a lot of time on the clock with 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
A
lot of time. So again, got to be smart enough to understand what it is that you're doing. Got to be in a position to where you recognize what they're doing. They were coming out showing you that they were going to set up some sort of trap. So you got to be on the lookout for that. And that means, number one, don't dribble yourself into that trap.
So let me just say this while we're in this timeout right here. Langston's second half statistics does not really truly tell you what kind of game we have here. Listen to this, Gary.
What's that?
Langston has scored 33 points to Wayland Baptist. Wayland Baptist has scored 23. Field goal shooting, Langston shooting 14 of 23, 60% in the second half. Wayland Baptist 7 of 16, 43%. From 3, Langston is 3 of 8, 37%. Wayland Baptist is 1 of 6. Rebounding, Langston's out-rebound him 13-6, but yet it's only a 6-point margin.
Right.
That's the reality of this game.
But look at the free throws.
And the free throws is exactly where the equalizer are. Wayland Baptist in the second half, 8 of 12. Langston, 2 of 3. That's the difference.
A number of times you've been to the line.
Joshua Smith drives to the hole and puts the biscuit in the basket. Lead back up to 8.
Timeout.
Timeout called on the floor, and we're going to see a lot of timeouts because the coaches are going to be playing chess right now.
Yep.
Smith has 14 points right now, game high 16 points overall in the night. But these are the things that have to go down. The Lions have got to execute down the stretch, get smart shots to put themselves in a position to win. Wayland Baptist, as far as they're concerned, is if they can continue to get to the free throw line and shave it off, they'll have a chance to win this game at the end, and that's what they want.
No, you're right. You're right. And when you look at the fact that there's 4 minutes and 8 seconds, how many possessions is that? 1, 2. That's 8 possessions.
Right.
So these are major. Total of 8 possessions here. If you're running with the shot clock, you can't afford to let it go. And in addition to that, you don't have enough of a lead to where you can get lazy or forgetful in any aspect of the game. Can't leave anybody out there hanging around the three-point line unchallenged. You can't get mixed up on a switch defensively. And you can't give away any unnecessary fouls.
Offensive foul is the call.
Excellent play by Smith.
He caught Coleman driving downhill at that time, 59-51. So that's team foul number 8. The Lions creep a little bit closer to the double bonus now. Lotto looks to be in a little bit of pain here. He's trying to shake it off a little bit. It looks at least like he was holding his arm a little bit. He looks to be all right now. Jamison Epps helping the floor maintain its traction and removing some moisture. So the officials are talking, and now we're set to go back to live action here. Under 4 minutes to go. The Lions have the ball off a great defensive effort there by Joshua Smith. Joshua Smith has played an unbelievable game tonight.
Yeah, he has. I'll be curious to see what his stat line looks like.
Smith,
He's
again, could have swung it inside at that
foul
time.
from behind. Did you see that? Wow.
They did not call it.
They did not call the push from behind.
Monroe asking the same question about it. 3:42 to go. Flores across the timeline. Flores to the left wing. Leach tried to get a bounce pass into Demeros. Demeros up fakes, drives inside, swings it to the corner. Nice rotation. Ball at the top of the key is short. No one goes up to get it, and Numeros finds a way to get his hands on it, and finally they drop it in. Lead cut back down to 6.
Now, don't be surprised if all of a sudden Wayland hits Langston with a press.
Monroe just inside the logo with 2:58:14 on the shot clock. Lemon Warren swings it back to Smith. To the corner. 3-point shot.
Lotto drains one.
And Lotto drains a 3 to extend the lead by the Lions back up to 9.
Timeout.
Timeout called on the floor. Just when you thought Lotto gets to 9 points on the night. Several Lions have 9 points and have not broken through into double digits. As far as Wayland is concerned, there is no player on the floor with double digits tonight. They've all got it done. 7 players with 5 points or more. Kabine Kaba comes back in the game, and now McCoy comes back in for the Lions. 2:44 to go. Across the timeline. Swing. Ball in the hands of Leach. Leach gets it over. Numeros. Drives inside the lane, inside the circle. They're going to call him for travel.
No.
Looked like he shuffled his feet,
No.
but they're going to catch.
They're going to call it on Lemon Warren.
Lemon Warren with the hold. So Lemon Warren being called with the foul on that particular play. I'm not so sure about that one. Numeros was straight backing him in.
I mean, hammering him. It was physical down there.
At the free throw line.
And it didn't look like Lemon Warren was winning that battle down there either.
Nah, Numeros took him to the shed that time.
He took him all the way to the front of the rim.
McCoy comes out of the game. Jamison Epps returns. So you got Lemon Warren, Jamison Epps, Andrews, Lotto, and Bryce Monroe on the floor right now. Numeros knocks down, and once again the lead creeps down to 7. Under 2.5 to go. The Lions need to continue to put pressure on. Across the timeline, 20 seconds on the shot clock. You got plenty of time. Andrew retrieves, the deep pass.
Yep, they need to make sure they come to the ball on all passes.
Monroe drives inside,
This is it.
Gets contact.
And he's
So-
back down again.
So Monroe is down. Hopefully he'll be able to get up this time. He does. Going to go to the free throw line, at least shooting 2 in this case, as it's team foul number 9. But again, I'd much rather, even though I know we need to have the free throws, Gary,
Yeah.
I'd be much more excited if the clock was still running.
Yeah.
Monroe squares up, and the
But
shot is good.
He drains it.
Monroe knocks down his free throws. Monroe on the night. So with 10 points, he is the second Lion in double-digit scoring. Make that 11 points on the night as he knocks down points, free throw line 10 and 11. Lead back up to 9. 2 minutes to go in the game. Ball nearly stripped there by Andrews, and they're going to call a foul and send Flores to the free throw line. So now double bonus coming. So Flores shooting 2. It's ugly, but it's something that's continuing to happen, and the Lions have got to adjust here under the last 2 minutes of how the game is being called.
Yeah, they have to learn how to adjust. Oh.
So on that overall, so Monroe comes back in, so does Joshua Smith. So you got Smith, Epps, Lemon Warren, Lotto, and Monroe. Flores.
No.
Jamison Epps trying to track down the errant rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Lotto.
Wayland Baptist, I mean, they fully executed their rebounding there. Foul on the floor.
Foul on the floor, and that's going to be, it looks like, against number 3, which will be McDougal. So that's going to put Monroe back to the free throw line again. Monroe has a chance to push it back to a double-digit lead again. 64-55. First shot is pure. Back at the free throw line for one more. Monroe has 12 on the night. Make that 13. Monroe has been money. And substitution into the game now comes Andrews. Lions up by 11 with 1:44 to go. Flores driving on Lotto. McDougal and Andrews slips up on the floor. Ball's rolling around, and Lotto ends up with the rebound. Out Lotto to the cup, tries to score it, and the shot is going to be blocked. Nice recovery that time by McDougal, working and hustling down the floor and challenging the shot.
I mean, I have to give Wayland Baptist a lot of credit. Those guys are playing hard. There's no quit in them. They had a game plan, and they've executed that game plan. One of the things they probably didn't anticipate was Mr. Lemon Warren coming in shooting 3 balls.
Yes, and also Joshua Smith having the monster game that he had.
Yes.
So across the timeline goes Monroe. So he had to go into the backcourt to get it. Monroe draws contact again against McDougal. And we already had one Wayland Baptist player to foul out tonight. That was, of course, James Lee. So McDougal just picked up foul number 4. So Bryce Monroe back to the free throw line again. And Monroe has 13. Make that 14. Going for 15. Lotto did a great job. And Monroe misses that one. That's his first miss of the night. Monroe, before that, was 6 of 6. Now he will be 6 of 7. Into the corner, 3-point shot by Leach. He can't get it to fall. Lotto goes up and gets the rebound and draws contact as Numero fouls him with 68 seconds left to go in the game. 67-55. So the Lions, with their now new largest lead, 12 points on the night, have a chance to continue to build on it.
Yeah,
and Gary, as crazy as it is, I know folks watching at home saying, Langston has done a great job of maintaining it, but this game just felt closer all the time.
It did.
Wayland Baptist scrapped all the way.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a grind. This game was purely a grind. And, of course, Langston's not helping, by not, icing this thing with the free throws. But
before that, Lotto was 2 of 2. Now he's, of course, 2 of 3.
Talking about us shooting free throws as a team.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And he knocks that one down, so he's 3 of 4 on the night. And as far as that goes, free throw shooting tonight for Langston, not exactly pretty, but you'll take it. Overall, 15 of 22, 15 of 23, 69%. So we have a player
grabbing his knee real quick. He did slide quite a bit.
And he's going to try and get up, and let's see how he is. And that is Leach. Leach trying to walk it off. Coach Clint Galen looking at him. He's able to walk off under his own power. And returning in his absence is Joshua Tucker. 1:02 to go. Epps to throw it in. Lotto now retrieves it. Bounce pass over to Epps. Epps gets it back to Lotto. Lotto across the timeline, swings it to Andrews. Andrews decides to slow it down. Swing it back out to Epps. Lions attacking the shot clock right now. 18 seconds. Or attacking the game clock. Not attacking the shot clock, attacking the game clock. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Game time 46.2 left to go in this game. Lotto. Across the timeline now, swings it to the corner. Andrew up fakes. Andrew fires a 3. Shot no good. Jamison Epps go over the back.
Yep.
And Numeros is going to go back to the free throw line. And again, an unnecessary foul.
Yep.
Jamison Epps picks up foul number 4. But the danger here is
you're up by 13.
No need. You challenge, but you go away. You have to understand the situation. If the lead was 6 points or less.
That's different.
6 points
you're
a lead.
Up by 13, the clock is your friend.
Numeros knocks down the first free throw. Makes it a 12-point margin. Lions holding on to the largest lead, which had been 13. Numeros with one more. And he goes 2 for 2 at the line. Nice job by Numeros. Numeros coming in the game and came off the bench with 9 points of his own. Ball in the hands of Lemon Warren, who scores and fouled on the play.
Nicely done. What does Lemon Warren's stat line look like?
Lemon Warren right now has just eclipsed double digits. He's got 11 points on the night now. 11 points and 2 rebounds thus far in this game. Right off the bench. One more. Lemon Warren back rims that one. And the ball trickles out in the hands of Lotto. 25 seconds, and it's all academic at this point. Trying to find some space. Jameson Epps has it. And they're going to back it down with 16 seconds. And that will do it. The Lions, number 8, will defend home turf and overcome the early season loss to Wayland Baptist and submit themselves, as far as it stands right now on January 16th, atop the Sooner Athletic Conference. So, the Lions win 70-57.
So I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
How many points do the Lions average per game on average?
70 points.
They wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for all the stop. You know what I mean? This game would have been over with. I'm glad. I mean, again, the Lions win, but they only got to their average because of the slow play of that second half.
Right. So, I mean, when you look at it overall, Gary, when you start talking about it, and the second half of this game, the Lions beat Wayland Baptist or outscored them 46-29.
In the second half.
In the second half. The Lion defense was obviously better. Wayland Baptist shot 8 of 20, 40%. 1 of 8 in the three-pointers in the second half of this game. So you're talking about a team that shot 12% from 3. So the Lions basically took the air out of the balloon.
Yeah.
But that free throw line, Wayland Baptist got to the free throw line 18 times in the second half. And in the game itself, they got to the free throw line 28 times.
What about Langston?
24 in the game. But 24. So that's what we've got going, you know. So to me, it's an important detail to understand that this game was close because of the free throw opportunities that Wayland Baptist created in the second half. Now, you start losing key guys in the second half, as Wayland Baptist did, like, you know, you talk about James Lee, who had 7 points, the guy who was shooting the gaps and creating. Then you had Cabo with 7 points. Coleman, who didn't play well in the first half, dropped 7 in the second half. And you're talking about a guy from the bench, Numeros, finishing with 10, and he came off the bench for them. So Leach ended up with 9, and he never broke through to double digits. So you're talking about a team where they just didn't have enough firepower tonight to press the Lions even more. If they had that firepower, if they had that ability to do that, this might have been a different game. But for Langston's case overall tonight, you talked about it. When you needed firepower from the bench, there was a guy named Aaron Lemon Warren who came in and was that guy. 11 points off the bench, double digits. Then you're looking at what a game that was had, of course, by Joshua Smith, who had 16 points, ended up with 5 rebounds in the contest and assists. If I had told you tonight that Joshua Smith was going to be your guy, you'd tell me, are you sure? Are you really sure?
We always know.
I know that
we
any
always
guy,
know that potentially he could do.
Okay.
He can come in there.
First of all, there is talent all over this roster.
Yes.
Anybody on this team is capable of dropping 10.
Right.
But in a game against a grind-out team in a game in the middle of January, if you knowing what this Lion team has, Joshua Smith was the hero tonight.
No, most definitely, and I'm glad he's on our team.
So for that sake, he's going to be the Black Chronicle LU Athletics player of the game.
Yep.
But I want to shout out Bryce Monroe,
Yes.
who played with the heart of a lion,
Yes, he did.
the heart of a champion, and relentless effort. When things got tough, he did his job.
And when he started getting hurt, he still figured out a way to get himself out there and contribute to the team. Another thing I want to point out here, Mo, is how many players did Langston play tonight? They went 10 deep.
Yes.
They played 10 players tonight. And all of them contributing something
Actually,
different.
11.
11 players.
Players.
Wow, okay.
You know, now, it was not always the debut, but you've got to find continuity.
Yeah.
But they've still got to find a way to be more efficient offensively. The defense, once again, saved them. But at some point in time, you're going to find a team that has the ability to continue to take advantage of those situations,
Right.
whether it's by athletics, meaning by athletic talent, or by scheme that's going to make it hard for you to be successful overall.
Right. Well, but the key now with those players that have, you know, become eligible to play in this second semester, the only way that you can get them continuity is to play them.
Right.
I mean, practice cannot simulate game, and you got to get players in there. And the nice thing is that you do have those rules where a player can play, you know, so many minutes or so many games and still be able to maintain a red shirt. So we'll see how that plays out.
So Wayland Baptist now loses their 3rd game in a row, falls to 10-8 on the season, 10-4 in the Sooner Athletic Conference, which means at this point now they're going to have to grind out the rest of the way. You know, there's a lot of conference games still to play, but they're going to have to fight to stay on the upper half of the Sooner Athletic Conference, which is going to be a key stretch for them trying to make the post. Not only just get a good seed in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament, getting a home game, but also trying to get to the big dance in the NAIA National Tournament. The Langston Lions, on the other hand, extends their winning streak to 9 games, improving their record overall to 14-2, 9-3 in conference. So that's going to be something exciting to watch. The Lions are next in action this coming Saturday as they'll take on Oklahoma Panhandle State. Pre-game will begin about 1:50 as the girls tip off at 2 o'clock. And remember, if you are a Langston student, you need to be here for that game because that sets you up for that bus ride to the Paycom.
Yes, sir. What a deal. $40.
That's right.
We'll get you $30 at the concession stand, a ticket, and a free ride.
Listen.
Can't beat that with a stick.
Listen, if you're not going to go, just give it to me and Gary. I know there's not much, enrollment is not there, but we'll find a way. We'll find a way. So we're going to get out of here tonight. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Our sponsors tonight is Tinker Federal Credit Union, OERB, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, the Black Chronicle newspaper, and LU Athletics. We got to get out of here.
Yes,
we got
sir.
a lot of games to do. Game tomorrow night. Remember, just keep it tuned and locked in here to PPBC TV. Remember, great high school action tomorrow night. Edmond Santa Fe taking on PC North, and also the Millwood Falcons on the road taking on Dale.
That's going to be a good one. Small school, championship caliber basketball, which is definitely a shift.
Yeah, the Dale Pirates. So look for that tomorrow night. So we'll be on the road for that one. And then, of course, we'll be back here at CF Gales this coming Saturday, once again, as the Langston Lions will host Oklahoma Panhandle State. Again, pregame at 1:50, and the game, women's game, tips off at 2 p.m. He's Gary Woods, the coach. I'm Maurice Prince. Hey, we haven't done this in a while, so we'll just do it now. L's up. Langston Lion, both teams win tonight. The girls win the earlier contest by the final score. I want to make sure I get that right as we get out of here tonight. The girls win by the score of 69-60. I want to make sure. I think I got that right.
Yep, they won by 9.
They won by 9, and then the men win by the score of 70-50.